One of the problems that bikers have, or motorcycle owners have, is what happens when their fuel tank becomes rusty, or what happens when it starts to have a pinhole leak or a seam leak in it. The question is how do you seal it? We manufacture a product that's called fuel tank liner, and it's a three-step process that allows you to cover the rust, seal pinhole leaks, and also seal seam leaks. The three-step process is really simple. You start off with the fuel tank cleaner. You put it in the tank, you mix it with water, you slosh it around, and you let it soak, and it cleans out all the petroleum distillates and all the stuff in the tank that you really don't want to have any further. And then you take the prep. So what you do with this, you pour it in, you slosh it around, you let it absorb into the tank a little bit, and then you pour it out. And what this does is this acts as a drying agent and then also an etching agent for the actual inside of the tank. And then you pour in the fuel tank liner. This liner is the consistency of like latex paint. You pour it around, you don't have to recoat and re-roll and redo anything. All you have to do is pour it in, dump it out, tip it upside down, let the residual drop out or run out, and you have a coated tank. What we have here is actually the finished product that you see when it's all said and done.
Now, how can people get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with us by going to www.northernfactory.com. So we're currently distributing our product through MC Advantages, J&P Cycles, and also Mid-USA.
Now that can come in handy for those of you building a bike or restoring an old one.
All right, now to these license plates. We'd like to welcome from Rolling Thunder, Alex Borelli, a.k.a. Spaghetti Man, and Terry Sanders, a.k.a. Flash. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Thanks for having us.
You know, Alex, we've been waiting for these plates for a long time. Tell us how long it's been, these being in the making.
It's been 5 years. Our past president started this a little over 5 years ago. He's since left us, passed away. And we were lucky enough for a lot of work throughout the state of Indiana, all Rolling Thunder and friends, to have the opportunity to get the job done. And it was presented to us in our send-off to Washington in May last year. Now,
tell me, on these plates, how much of the proceeds from these plates will be used for military?
The plate is $40 extra. The BMB gets 15 of that, and 25 of that goes directly to an assistance fund for the military inactive that's active today. They have, of course, their channels to go through to obtain that money.
Now, tell me, Terry, how long, and fill us in about Rolling Thunder and how long it's been around and what all you actually do.
To begin with, the co-founders, Artie Muller and Ray Manzo, had this idea in 1987. They were concerned about what happened to a lot of the POWs and MIAs that never came back from Vietnam. And as a U.S. citizen, you have the right to go to D.C. and let your concerns be known. And that's when it began. In 1988 was the first demonstration. We had 2,500 bikes in that demonstration to get our government's attention about the POW-MIA issue. Last year we had somewhere between 700 and 800,000 bikes in that demonstration ride. The whole idea of Rolling Thunder is to educate the public on the POW-MIA issue, that we've had military personnel from all past wars that have not come home.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thanks, you guys. These are very important. How much do these cost again?
These cost $40 in addition to your normal registration fee.
Okay. And how many license plates are there for the military?
There are 10 in Indiana. There are 10 plates, 3 of which the general public can purchase.
Okay.
This is one of them, and this one is unique in that it recognizes, and we do not want to forget, those service people that have not come home.
Now these are in the license branch right now.
Perfect. All right, now it's time for this week's Bike of the Week.
This week's Bike of the Week belongs to Edward Roy. Edward, that color is awesome. Tell me about your bike.
Well, I bought it over here at the dealership in Bloomington. It was used, had a bad motor and had it all completely redone, put stroker cams, everything in it. My wife and I, we just dismantled the whole thing and decided to go with a kind of a unique color. It's called a sour apple green, which is not really fancy, but when the light hits it, it changes colors. And it's just a plain job, but it really came out pretty cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can be seen going down the road on this bike. You know, last year, your wife's bike was a bike that we actually had tried.
It's gone through a lot of changes, and she's a big Elvis fan, so I decided to go with the pink. It's a pink pearl with, they call it a pink rose metal flake. In a light, it just blows up in a bunch of different colors.
So you and your wife both now is that Bike of the Week, and take care of these bikes, they're beautiful.
Oh, I sure will. I have
to. Now here's this week's Ladendorf Law trivia question. What was not an Indian motorcycle? A scout, a chief, or a medicine man? Stay tuned, we'll have the answer when Still Horse returns.